Now that we are discussing living to 100, there are probably over 1,000 reasons to exercise for our health. If you have to exercise, it would be best to choose something enjoyable that helps manage stress and can be done consistently. In particular, one of the reasons to play tennis is that it is the #1 exercise for increasing average lifespan. According to a 2018 study in Denmark, playing tennis resulted in an average lifespan that was 9.7 years longer, followed by badminton at 6.2 years and soccer at 4.7 years. Tennis has the simultaneous effects of aerobic and anaerobic exercise, and it is the best form of exercise as it helps improve prediction of the ball's movement and cognitive functions of the brain. There is a saying that goes, "I go out to the court even with a bandage on my arm," highlighting its strong appeal and addictive nature. When I hit the decisive shot with a forehand after the serve, I can hear the stress releasing with a pop sound. First of all, as an amateur player, I can achieve steady growth, satisfaction, and establish tennis as a personal hobby. Above all, I must quickly shorten the learning curve to a certain level of tennis without giving up midway. If you practice for more than 3 months, you will definitely see a surprising improvement in my tennis. First, the most important thing is that there are actions that must become habits. There are 3 key actions that are crucial for mastering tennis for a lifetime. First, it's the split step, jumping in place. This step is the beginning and the end of all movements. If you watch videos of Roger Federer, the world's #1, his feet are almost never touching the ground. You can easily see people doing split steps in an infinite loop. The habit of jumping in place allows for all movements to be natural and can prevent injuries. Surprisingly, among enthusiasts, those with a long experience and those who think they are fast on their feet often do not use split steps. However, accumulated sudden movements are not only visually unappealing, but also lead to injuries and disrupt rhythm. In ball sports, there is a unique rhythm that is essential for hitting a moving ball. That rhythm begins right at the split step. Second, it's the habit of keeping your eyes on the ball until the end. The habit of watching until the end helps to stabilize your head, allowing you to hit the ball accurately. Most people rely on their instincts without watching until the end. You need to hit the sweet spot, the center of the racket. When playing tennis, if your arm hurts or feels uncomfortable the next day, it means you were swinging wildly without keeping your eye on the ball. By developing a habit, you can significantly reduce the number of mistakes. Third, it's about finishing the movement, that is, carrying it through to the end. Interrupting the movement in the middle damages the fundamentals and does not become muscle memory. It means that my body hits the ball as it has remembered from hitting it thousands of times. Every time you hit the ball, if your movements are different and you are too busy getting the ball over, you will end up making a lot of mistakes if you don't finish the correct motion. There is a proper finish for each type of shot, such as forehand, backhand, serve, and volley. This way, the movements will look good, and the actions required in tennis will be remembered by my body. Alright, if you're a beginner and it's been less than 2 years, there's a good tip to consider. It's a secret to quickly improving your tennis skills, but it's true that tennis requires a certain amount of time. However, there is a secret to enjoying it quickly and playing well without giving up midway. The first thing is to focus more than 70% on the forehand. If we assume there is someone who practices forehand 20, backhand 20, serve 20, volley 20, and others 20, and another person who excels in forehand more than 70%, who would be at the top? The forehand is the most reliable means to create decisive shots or make the fewest mistakes. So someone who is extremely good at forehand can grow faster. If you can execute your forehand quickly and well, you can cover other techniques to some extent and play the game. Additionally, if your forehand is strong, you have the advantage of not getting tired or losing interest midway, making the game more enjoyable quickly. After serving, when you hit a decisive shot with a strong forehand, the stress flies away with it. If you think you're a beginner or that your skills aren't improving, try focusing 70% of your practice on your forehand. You'll have an amazing experience in just 3 months. The second point is to focus 90% on always serving slowly to the opponent's backhand side. 90% of amateur players have a weak backhand, and serving to the forehand direction will naturally become easier after a certain period. In other words, serving to the backhand direction requires effort, and the intensity naturally increases. If you focus 90% on the backhand direction, you'll unknowingly develop muscle memory in your arm. In fact, rather than aiming for the backhand side, if you just try to serve strongly and powerfully, you'll end up stiffening into your own motion, making mistakes and serving to the backhand direction more difficult. Slowly, let's serve 90% to the backhand direction and then 10% strongly to the forehand direction. Most players struggle to return serves that are mostly weak to the backhand and unpredictably to the forehand. Let's hit the decisive shot with a focused 70% on the forehand. It's quite fun. The third secret is to have a beautiful form posture. Among professional players, it is rare to find one whose form is not beautiful. Moreover, having a beautiful form also means having the most suitable angle for hitting the ball. Team sports have the most efficient postures. Golf, table tennis, badminton, etc. A beautiful form is a proven standard over a long period and an advanced technique. The beautiful form in tennis relies 80% on the split step, forehand, and serve stance. Once a posture is set, it lasts a lifetime, so it's important to pay attention to it now, even if it's not in the early stages. When you have a pretty form and nice attire, both the effectiveness of the exercise and the level of satisfaction increase. In other words, researching how to achieve a pretty form can quickly become the secret to playing well. Imitating the movements of your favorite player is also a very good method. Then, the last way to grow quickly is practice. And it's common sense that those who invest more time will do better. It's true that lessons received on the court or playing games 2 or 3 times a week are not enough. So, what is needed is something that can be done outside the court, and that is the method of image swing. The player's concise and consistent movements are likely the result of long practice. If possible, it is to do many swings, which means practicing at home. In front of a full-length mirror or glass wall, fold the towel in half, hold the ends, and practice swinging like you would with a racket. Always start by facing forward, holding the folded towel with both hands, and perform a split step while swinging, as if in a real match, ensuring the towel does not bend. Practice more than 100 times in one go, envisioning the movements of the players until the swinging motion feels natural and smooth, without the towel bending. With a smoother swing, finishing as if you're watching the ball until the end becomes an incredible practice. If you practice with a racket, you will end up breaking something at home. The important thing is to swing without bending the towel. Soon, you will develop a smooth posture. Let's practice forehand, backhand, and serve in that order for 3 months. You will find that your movements become smooth without even realizing it. The smoother movements will become a powerful weapon for you on the court. Through tennis, you will increase your average lifespan and enjoy exercising healthily for a lifetime.